1987 and New Zealand taking the inaugural Rugby World Cup on home soil. But a little known fact perhaps is that the joint top try scorer from that tournament was Kiwi wing Craig Green.
Just a really enjoyable time, really friendly bunch of guys that enjoyed themselves and obviously won the cup, and obviously a big occasion, the first ever World Cup and in New Zealand, and the last game perhaps you can remember. We've seen it quite a few times obviously, especially after last year's World Cup. So yeah, just a really enjoyable time, just a great time in New Zealand, and a time that probably brought the country together. Other countries perhaps didn't realise how big it was going to be and how hard it was going to be. Obviously up until then we were sort of the team that everyone wanted to beat, the All Blacks, and probably still are. So we were probably a little bit ahead of the other countries in that respect. We sort of took it as like, you know, almost a first step towards professionalism.
After 6 tries at the World Cup and 11 in all during his 20 tests, Green then joined fellow players such as John Kirwan in moving overseas to play in Italy.
I think probably at that stage it was something new. There was guys going to Italy and playing and coming back and talking about how much of a good time they had, and see something different. Rugby wasn't quite as hard, and a chance to get over on the European trip for Kiwis and Aussies was always one of our dreams. So be able to come over and play rugby and enjoy it all was just, you know, probably too good to miss out on. Certainly lived there probably more in Italy now than anywhere else in the world since the first World Cup. My wife's Italian, both my kids were born in Italy. Yeah, so it's probably more my home than anywhere else.
A serious back injury then put paid to his playing career in the mid-90s. But his passion for the game carried on, and a move into coaching soon transpired.
I was lucky enough to be able to sort of work through the Canterbury Crusader type system, work through that and help coach one of the original Crusader Colts teams, New Zealand under-19s and under-21s as it was in those days. And then got a chance to come back to Italy and took it, and came back for another stint over here coaching. My first few years in Treviso I had a couple of very good French coaches, so their ideas were completely different from ours in New Zealand and the way they coach. So blending that in with the ideas from New Zealand, it's been really, really great to try and work those two in together. I really enjoy seeing players improve. I like to work hard on players' individual skills. I like to see players being able to express themselves, but I do like to work hard. I'm very big on that. There's probably more of a need in Italy to understand the game. A lot of them don't start playing until they're quite a lot older than, you know, Kiwi boys or Aussie boys or South Africans. So there is a need for them to do what we'd call general movement, global rugby type skills, so that they get it used to the movement of the game, both on attack and defence. Last year, I think they did a great job to stay up. They won the final playoff. It's always going to be difficult if you're in that last game. We sort of, hopefully that we're not going to be in that game, but that's our objective at this stage, is just to stay up in the elite group. Well, I think the Junior World Championship is important because it's a big showcase. It was in Italy last year, so it got a lot of publicity. And when the players get the chance to come to this Junior World Championship, it is a big thing. They get to play against the best young players in the world, and as we've seen very soon afterwards, players go up and carry on. So I'm sure a lot of them are looking to do the same.